So here we go again, we're gonna change. Let's get this show on the road, invite a friend. Talk of the town, you gotta speak your mind, so say it out loud. Talk of the town.
It's special, I give a shout to everyone that brought a friend or a date or whatever you want to use. Tonight, we appreciate you so much. Thanks to the persons who are busy or they're not really feeling too well and still made the effort to turn out. We appreciate you guys. And with that being said, we have a lot in store for you guys. I just want to do my disclaimer once again that topics will be discussed that everyone may or may not agree with. Please remember all discussions happen in a respectful manner. You're free to say anything you want to say in any context, but just please remember in a respectful manner. That being said, thank you very much once again, and let's get into it.
All right, guys, we're going to start off tonight, right? We're going to start off with a couple icebreakers. And for this segment, we're going to be playing two different games. For this segment, I want you guys to open your mics. Open your mics when you're about to speak, but close it if you don't have anything to say, just so the mic don't pick up on any background noise, all right? And also, if you hear someone speaking, wait until them finish before you talk over them. But if you can engage by using your microphone, please do so. So, I want to know if you know about the game. I remember the real name, some ABC something, where you would say, all right, name the places starting with A, B, C, D, go on, so continue. So you'd start with A, next letter in the alphabet, B, continue to C.
Are you talking about ABC first or so?
If I saw it name, sure, but I just remember how it played, I remember the real name. So we're going to start off with naming foods, all right? So based on the letters you see on the screen, naming foods that start with that letter, all right? And again, feel free to open your mic, say whatever you want to say. I want you guys to engage and really get in the vibe for tonight, all right?
All right.
Name of foods, guys.
Apple.
Apple alone, everybody know that they're right on the screen. Come
Avocado.
on.
Avocado.
Banana.
Bola.
Bread. Yeah.
Mommy.
Coconut.
Cucumber. Chocolate. Yeah.
Donut.
Dog.
No,
Dog.
no, you
What?
eat, you eat dog. Wait,
hot
you eat
dog
dog?
you eat.
Wait, you eat dog? What?
Is that food though?
Not on my
Chinese
menu.
considered food, I guess.
Not on my menu. I'm okay.
Egg.
Eggplant.
Easter bun.
F.
Fish.
Frog.
Fish.
You eat fish.
Grape.
Guinea.
Gungu.
Guava.
Yeah.
Ham.
Hot dog.
Oh, Jesus.
Honey.
Yeah, honey.
Hamburger.
Yes.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
Ice cream, yeah. What else? Iced tea.
Everything with ice.
Apparently.
Jelly.
Jam.
Jackfruit.
Jalapeno.
Yes, starts with J.
Yay.
Ketchup.
Wow. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Potato.
Leaf.
Lemon.
Lobster.
Yeah,
Leaf.
lobster.
Lamb.
It is a leaf. It's a leaf.
Lollipop.
You eat leaf?
Liver.
Somebody say leaf.
Leaf.
Yeah, I'm gonna say somebody say leaf.
Mango. Melon. Meringue.
Oh, no,
Mushroom.
fancy food. A bare basic food.
Yeah, mushroom.
Fancy. What about mudslide?
Lasagna.
The drink.
Loveshua.
N.
Mozzarella. What?
N no. We're doing N. As
So
in
nutmeg.
new.
Noodle.
Nutmeg.
Nutella.
Yeah, Nutella. Yeah. What does it have?
No, no, that way.
Naseberry.
Orange.
Yes, yeah, Mr.
Oyster.
Orange. Oyster.
Oysters.
Oreo.
Yeah, Oreo.
Octopus.
Yeah.
For some people, yes.
I don't eat octopus.
Pea.
Pineapple. Pineapple.
Pizza.
Pistachio.
Peanuts. Give them nuts.
Q.
Quesadilla.
Kiwi.
Okay.
Quesadilla.
Barbecue.
No, but Q start with K, right?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
quesadilla starts with a Q.
No, kiwi.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
R. Raspberry.
Rat.
Rat.
What? You eat rat?
see, I do it.
No,
Rabbit.
sir. I'm rat. No.
Roach.
At least I don't willingly eat rat.
Rich though.
I mean, I buy fast food,
Willingly?
but I don't willingly eat rat. S.
Strawberry.
Sundae, like ice cream sundaes. Yes, yeah. Soup.
Sandwich.
Shrimp. What does a shrimp?
Done.
Lobster.
Soup.
Turnip.
Tea.
Tea.
Teriyaki.
Tomato.
Tamarind.
You.
Tea. You.
Tangerine.
Oh, you guys. You. You.
You
Eat you.
No, you. Come on, guys. Don't let me forget to Google because you. Not even, nobody know the food that start with you.
That you don't know either.
Onion.
What is it?
Funny.
Onion.
Onion.
Funny.
Start with you.
Almost union.
Umbrella fruit. Umbrella fruit.
Somebody Google that because there's no way I know that. I had to Google that.
Umbrella
The rest of the words don't even seem like.
According
they seem
to
like
Google,
African.
according to Google,
You have
there's
Unibar.
Udon, umbrella fruit.
Yes.
Ukrainian roll.
Umbrella fruit. Yes.
Somebody don't know about them something.
Nobody
Especially in
just
Jamaica.
Aye.
What about V? What about vegetable?
Yeah.
Vanilla.
Tiga. Vanilla.
Vinegar.
When I eat that by yourself.
W, you have
Worm.
Whopper. BK.
Wasabi.
Wonton.
Water.
Water, yeah.
Water.
Water is not a food.
Waffle. Oh,
Seasoning.
yeah, well, that's true. It's edible, but
Watermelon.
Debatable. Water is not a food.
okay, let's be technical. Fair enough. You win. Let us see you figure this out since it's debatable. Go ahead with the X, please. And when I go into Googling, I can just feel it.
Of course.
Zana.
Why?
Josh.
Which food really start with X? You know,
They have
Jamaica?
something about it's like some really weird pronouncing names. Some of these look like they're Chinese too.
X-ray.
Yes.
You have this thing called Xavier soup. I don't know why I'd eat a soup after a person, but all right.
Igua. Xanthan gum. Yeah, I heard of this one. Xanthan
I have this
gum.
one. Why?
Yam. Yogurt. Yeast. I don't know.
Well, my name is raw, but fair enough.
Yam though and yogurt. Love yogurt.
Yeah. What's the
Yellow
other- the other-
beans.
And then Z, you have zebra. Some people actually eat zebras.
This is a weapon. That's a
Zinger.
Zinger, yeah.
Yes.
Hey, that's a
All
weapon.
right, guys. We're gonna do it again. But we're gonna do it.
Zucchini.
All right. We're gonna name. You guys tell me which one you prefer. Do you want us to name places or things?
Places.
Places?
Things that are easy.
Things?
Things that are easy.
Places sound
If you want to try
places.
to go to places.
Things? Places? All right, let's go. We're going with places. Let's go. Go ahead. Places, guys. Places.
Atlanta.
America.
Australia, Augustone, Anic Garden,
Barbados.
Buff Bay.
Antigua,
Bethlehem.
Barbados,
Bahamas,
Clarendon,
Canada, Cuba,
Coronation Market.
Dominica,
Cornwall.
Cornwall start with a D.
Girl, what's he bring on the D?
No, D depend it was wrong.
Oh God.
Then tone.
Somebody said that already. Europe, Ethiopia,
England.
Egypt,
Yes, Egypt, yes.
East
F.
side.
Of course, I come with the east side.
Florida,
Makes sense.
France,
Foreign.
Florida,
Perfect.
Flatbush, Flat
Florida,
Florence,
France.
Grenada, Guyana,
Mm-hmm.
Greenland,
Ghetto.
Strength in
Georgia.
that though. They come out
Georgia.
strong.
Haiti.
Heaven.
Oh my.
Okay. That's debatable. Some people don't think it called heaven.
Italy,
What Iceland?
Italy,
India.
Who took
Yeah,
a bite off the eye though?
Not
Jamaica,
me. Wow. Jamaica took a bite off the eye. That's crazy.
Teams. Oh, yo.
Indonesia,
Kenya,
We're at K.
Korea.
Yeah.
Kentucky.
What? Okay.
No,
Yes,
that is
I don't know why my mint went to
That
KFC a
is
while
a-
ago.
that
No,
is
wait
a
a moment. I heard Kentucky. I was waiting for the fried chicken. Which reminds me, guys,
Kentucky's-
food forever. Could I use fried chicken? You know? Could I use fried chicken?
Lima,
Could I use fried chicken?
Lima,
Las
London.
Vegas.
Yes, Las
London.
Vegas.
London,
Yeah, London.
That's
Los
in the-
Angeles,
A lot of places.
Mars.
Come on in. M and M? M or M?
Norton,
Mandeville.
Manchester, Mandeville, New York, New
Montgomery.
Jersey, New Orleans, New Kingston, everywhere new.
Magati. Better English.
Yeah, what do N and M? So them reach oh no.
New Kingston.
Australia, is
Ohio.
Ontario,
New York.
Orlando.
Ontario,
But guys, it said places that now just mean countries. I realize everybody else countries and like what about like categories?
Yeah, and what about outside?
Yeah, outside. I
Pegasus.
guess yeah. Pegasus, yeah. See? Edo. Portmore, which is the almost courage. Portland, Port Antonio,
Panama,
Port Maria, Port
Pharmacy.
Royal,
Wait, quick question.
Pharmacy. Yes.
Pennsylvania,
Quick question.
Philadelphia,
Is place a place?
This place a place.
Yeah.
No.
If a place
It's
then
not.
place, then it is a place.
No, wait. That would be like saying thing is a thing, which food is a
But
food.
is it?
Well, wait,
But is
no. The word place is not a place. If a place is named place, it's a place. But the word place is not a place.
All right. Don't get too deep. I'm already
You're the one that brought it up.
Queens,
confused.
Queens.
Jesus,
Quebec.
Quebec,
Rashford.
oh Quebec, and then
Rosal.
Mercy,
River.
R, Rhode Island,
S, guys. S. Places that start with S.
Spanish Town,
Yeah, but okay, that was quick. You live there?
Spanish Town,
Sure. That is definitely to your tongue. So we're just ready to go. S, guys. S. A shop. Shops. A store. That's a store.
South Korea,
Yes, that's one. T, guys. T.
Trinidad and Tobago,
Tone. Okay. Tone.
Toronto,
Yeah, Toronto.
Tivoli,
You guys. Uganda.
Uganda.
Uganda. That one there.
Uganda.
I'm not B,
Uruguay,
guys.
Ethiopia,
Venezuela,
No, isn't you? Well, no. I think Utopia was the EU. Maybe more.
yeah, mixed up.
Yeah, Ukraine.
We're starting with V, guys. Vet.
Hello.
Vet is a place. Hello, Bet.
Venezuela.
Okay, Venezuela. W. Work. Because work start with W. And that's a place.
Washington.
Work.
Wakanda.
WAF.
Washington.
Wakan. Okay. Fair enough. Washington.
Wakanda.
X, guys. X.
Zania.
What?
Zania. Or Zenia. One place in America. Yes, United States.
Why? I'm not questioning you. I'm saying reach. Why?
Lord Jesus. What is name now?
What is name?
York Castle.
Yuma and Yokohama. Yuma is in Arizona and Yokohama is in Japan. Yes.
Zimbabwe.
Zoo. The zoo. The zoo.
Zambia.
Zimbabwe.
Zambia.
Yeah, no, so pure African country name.
Zimbabwe.
The cafe name put
All
zero.
right. So the next game that we're gonna play, I'm excited, guys. I'm excited, and I'm glad that we're participating. Now, this one, if you saw the flyer, you saw where it said you're supposed to, bring a date, refer a friend. You understand? Don't come empty-handed. So this portion, we're gonna take the top 5 or the top 6, the top 5, and then we're going to vote live. We're gonna vote by raising our hands, and I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna do to see if you can, you and your date can win this segment, and all who come single, I'm sorry for your loss. So very simple, very easy. So you're going to tell a story. You're going to tell us a very quick story of either how you asked your date out to come to this meeting with you, or how you were asked out by your date. And I'll go first. Set the president. Oh, that word there. You get it. Set the rhythm. There we go. Good. I'll go first, and then after me, someone else will go. Hopefully your date is also logged on. Why are you laughing at me? Because I can't pronounce the word. I normally know how to, just slip my tongue. All right, so let me see if my date is even logged on, because I don't want to shame myself. Oh, yes. I'm going to big up my date. So my date is Dean Anderson. You can see him in the chat. And I'll tell you how I was asked out, because it was just, oh my God, just took my breath away. So he approached me, but he was very extravagant. Let me tell you guys, listen. This guy, he rented a helicopter. He rode in on the inside of a whale mouth, and he took out from his back pocket the moon. And
You
inside
can't
the moon,
Stefano.
and when he pulled the moon from his back pocket, it was carved into the moon. It's like, would you be my date? And I was like, oh my God. And as soon as I said yes, the stars in the sky started dancing, and I was just like, oh my God. And then the angels started singing, and it was just the best thing. So that was how I was asked.
That was a very good dream.
No. Listen, that's how I was asked. Why are you you're hating on my experience? Dean is here, as testimony to say this all happened. I have witnesses. Ashley was there, Natty was there, Shantae was there. Don't worry yourself. See, told you. So
Yes,
the next person, let's hear it. How you were asked out. Go ahead, raise your hands. Who wants to go next? Let me know. Who wants to go next? And don't be shy, guys. Let's hear it. Let's hear how you were asked out, or how you asked yourself out in case you're single. Just saying. Come on.
For them still in the matchup.
If it match up, you're not meds. It match up.
Them still in the matchup, man.
If we're not offer yourself, make a pick pound. I'm sure I don't want a pick pound.
But if you nobody over do.
Yeah, me I say, I them come single.
Then you must have you brought yourself, so you're your own dates. Ashley, so I'm going to tell you, Natty is going to go next, and then Ashley. So Natty, let me hear it. How you got asked out to come here.
So I went and I emptied, so my date came and they emptied the bank account and put it in an envelope, right, guys? And then there we were on a date underneath the stars, looking up into the moon, and then they just pull it out. And then next thing you know, I'm there looking at the mirror at myself with that envelope in my hand with all the money, and I'm like, do you want to be my date? And I was like, oh.
You know, so that they are coming.
Hold on, explain the
know?
bank account part. I don't understand that part there.
She basically said she love her money. Simple.
Somebody said Cupid travels alone, just here to spread love. You're the best. Big up yourself, Cupid. All right, guys. So thank you for your story, Natty. Remember, guys, we're gonna vote for the best story at the end. So Ashley, I'm gonna give a pre-introduction because Ashley have like 3 dates. So she's
Girl,
busy.
one of them
She's
left.
taking. Wow, you still have enough. You're good. So Ashley, go ahead and tell us about how you got asked out, or how you asked out one of these dates because you have so many. The floor is yours.
2 of them is not mine. Anyways, my date here today is Leon Danvers. Everybody give a good shout out. Hi, Leon. Yeah, I'm gonna tell us how I asked my date out. So I was like, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna make it spontaneous? So I did a little DIY. I took an envelope and I put some lipstick on my lip and I just stick it into it. And I was like, yeah, this is gonna be nice. And then I just gave it to some of my friends and just passed it around until they reached my hand. And then when he received it in his hand, he was like, wait, what the heck is this? And then he's wondering, the last person to pass it to him was a dude. So he got angry. It was a total laugh. But when he opened it, it's like, everybody just start laughing.
Thank you for sharing, Ashley. Anybody else wants to share? Since everybody is being they're single, they weren't asked out. We have 3 stories out of 5. Anybody else wants to go? Raheem, you want to share? Raheem, we're really happy to hear from you.
Go Raheem, go Raheem, go Raheem.
Do I?
Yeah, boost it one.
Do I? No.
No?
I'm come by myself today.
That's your story? That's your one vote for? That's it? No little sass? That's it? No little spice? You don't know if a cookie and a Jamaican? Where's the seasoning?
Hey, leave him now.
Sure.
Representing the lonely ones. Representing the lonely.
Maybe you should have asked out Raheem. But anyways, So Cupid travel alone. Who else wants to go? Hall, you want to go and tell us your story? Tanisha, you want to tell us? Akeem, Anthony, may I call out to the name? Kevin, you're there every week.
The one that we are Cupid tonight.
Devonisha, come on, guys.
Don't talk about
Call on the name and want and the palm starts sweat. Tell us how you guys are asked out. Vaughn, Ba, let's hear from you. One more story. Or mega volunteer somebody.
Open up key mic. Open up the mic. I'm gonna talk.
Mega volunteer somebody.
Key.
Leon, welcome back. Okeem. All right, since everybody's being
in the chat saying shh. Key, open up your mic.
It's all right. We're gonna vote. All right,
Hola,
so you're
¿cómo
gonna...
estás?
You ready to speak, Key?
No comprendo inglés.
Oh, all right, no problem. No problem. So we're going to vote by raising our hands. So if you vote to say that Natty's story won, and you felt it and she embodied the whole story and experience, raise your hand because we're going to count the votes. Raise your hand, guys. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. One hand.
Excuse me, do we get a prize for the first place?
You get stars, and we'll explain stars afterwards if you don't know what stars are. Raise your hands. So counting down, 5 seconds to vote.
Wait, we asked about
who are we voting for?
We're voting for Natty. If you think Natty completely embodied her whole story and you could just feel it, you could just feel her romancing herself in the mirror, vote. So we see 2 hands raised. We're counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Natty get 5 votes. Wait. All right. All right now. So if you think Jay and Dean's love story really motivated you and you could really picture him carving into the moon, go on a date with me to this club meeting, and then the stars start dancing, vote for J and Dean. Really give me 3 votes. I want to stay there. No, I want to stay by it.
Vote if you no believe, say I lie.
No, we're talking about the storytelling was good. No, we're not fact checking anything. All right, we're counting down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Mr. 7, 9. Blow out. Sorry, language. Okay, 9 votes. Great. All right, so we're gonna do Ashley and her 3 dates now. So if you think Ashley and her 3 dates and the storytelling of how she asked them out and her romancing herself once again, even though she already have all these dates, I don't know how, and then them left her. If you think that story really, you really felt it and you were like, yeah man, this is my life story. Go ahead and vote. 5 seconds on the clock, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! She have 6. All right.
Hello,
so
everyone. I keep on a vote for you, same people.
It's the support for me. It's the support for me. But we never say 1 vote alone. All right, guys. So the icebreaker segment has concluded. Thank you very much for participating. Feel free to close your mic now when you're not speaking. We're going to move right into the different sections. So for the political insight, I'm going to hand the mic over to Ashley.
Okay, hi guys. So our political insight topic is, do you consider arranged marriages to be most viable? All right, so an arranged marriage is a union of 2 people planned by someone other than the potential couple, typically the parents or the family, who are united through marriage. Now, some advantages of this is people will match better. There's a higher level of experience of parents, assurance of social status, financial security, cultural similarities of partners, rational rather than emotional decision, family connections are strengthened, similar ethics, values, and religious faiths. People may live in a happy bubble, avoidance of love sickness, no stress to find a partner. And some disadvantages are love is often not a factor. Maybe no fit at all between partners, potential higher divorce rates, spouses may not trust each other, people may be quite unhappy, family problems and emotional stress, no room for personal choices, may promote gender inequality. People often don't know what they're getting into. Lack of a dating period between couples and lower life expectancy. So, what are your thoughts? I can see the chats are blowing up. Okay, so I am seeing where Jayla said a big no. Leon said rather pick my headache. Our Soren Black said, nah, pick my own stress, not at all. Oh, hell no. Man, goodly all ugly. Boy, I'm gonna like this in a no rage thing. We can open up on the mic and talk.
Yeah, guys, raise your hands and then we'll pick on you in the order that you raise your hands. And let us hear your views. Do you think arranged marriage are viable? Do you think that it has a high success rate? Do you think that it's feasible? Is it something you would want to be done to you? Is it something you do to your future children? Let us hear your voices and your opinion. Natty, must you have your hand raised? Go ahead, take the floor. And after Natty, Val, you can go. So go ahead, Natty.
I don't know. Something about this not sit right with me. Like the Indian show them, it work in a them show there. You see me? But in a real life, me can't imagine like somebody I pick somebody was supposed to be like my partner for like years or whatever. And like most time in the cultures that do this, divorce is not really supported. You see me? So I can't imagine like me for the day and I be like, okay, mom or dad or okay, best friend or whoever, you're going to pick my life partner and then me. Well, you're going to pick my partner, then me. I forgot get married to them and I meet them and I do nothing. No, thank you. No, thank you. I like it. Not one bit.
Thank you very much for sharing, Natty. Vaughn. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
All right.
based on the context
Go
and
ahead.
the videos that how I see it work, is half of the time it's normally underage children. Well, we are Jamaicans and we're just looking in on their culture because it's not a part of our culture. So we will say outright no because of that. But if we grew up in their culture, it would have been the norm for us. But looking in, it's a no for me based on what the videos that I watch. And just as the speaker said before, there's no divorce in it at times. And sometimes the female is the one who get the end of the stick. Even if she decides to leave the person, it's like she's disowned by her entire family or her entire village. So it's definitely a no for me too.
Thank you so much for sharing, Vaughn. The next person that had their hand raised was Dalvin. And after Dalvin, we have Pamela. Dalvin, you can go ahead, please.
Right. For me, I look upon is most of the time, the girl or the woman that you're with, she are gonna miss her, right? And women are gonna find faults with the man, but through the whole dating phase, you get used to all of them flaws and thing, right? So without that, and then people just say, yo, you and you go get married, right? Basically that one. And without the whole phase, we get used to each other. Nah, no say that work. That just sound like stress.
Thank you so much for sharing, Dalvin. All right, so we have Pamela. Go ahead. After Pamela, we have Black. I think that's Azor Black. Correct me if I pronounce that wrong. Go ahead, Pamela.
Okay, good evening, colleagues. My take on that, it has its advantages and its disadvantages. Because when you look at the because we are not putting our country in it, you know, because we are not of that culture. But when you look at their, what you call it now, their marriage lasts longer. The family is more, their family is more together. And I think it works for them because in their country, the girl and the boy, they would have probably known each other growing up, some, you know, so some family member eyeing that boy or that girl and say, you know, I think the two of them might be together. So they grow up together, well, let us not say in love, but they grow to love each other. And their family values are much stronger than ours, you know? So in some context, if we were living there, it would have worked. But eyeing it, I'm saying it works better than our marriages last longer and work better than in our culture. That's my take.
Thank you so much for sharing. All right, go ahead, Black. And could you pronounce your first name for me? I just see how you say it.
Good night, Asorin.
Asorin. All right, go ahead.
Good night, everyone. So, someone came on earlier and they spoke about their culture. Yes, it's their culture. So, I can say that they're benefiting from it. And if we out here in Jamaica should go ahead and do an arranged marriage, because especially for example in India, if there's an arranged marriage and say for example the wife got pregnant and there's a divorce and the child is born, then the government will take care of that child and that mother, right? Out here we don't have that privilege, we don't benefit from that at all. And as someone said in the chat earlier that yes, it lasts, well, their arranged marriage lasts longer because they might grow up together, the family and their family might have a bond, you understand? So I believe we leave them in their own culture and we stay in ours and we choose ours. I won't do arranged marriage, sorry.
Thank you so much for sharing. All right, we'll take Ashley and then we're moving on to the second topic for the PRP, for the political insight segment. Go ahead, Ashley.
No, but
Sorry, Raheem, you wanted to go? You wanted to go?
No, I was just going to say, the lady before, she said they don't, we don't practice it. However, you have numerous occasions where arranged marriages are done on this side of the world. Even in Jamaica, with like for people who want to go overseas and them something there. So, but just did want input that say I have a lot of Jamaicans who do it out here. Might not be as popular as we think, but
Mhm.
it
But
happens.
it's done. So it's
Yeah.
not just them. All right. Thank you for sharing. Go ahead, Ashley.
Yeah, this is one thing I would not see myself doing, or I don't expect to happen. I agree with most of the disadvantages, if not all. The only part I don't understand is the part where it says the lower life expectancy. It's the case where I guess the girl or the male is stressing, oh, I'm never gonna find love, so they die faster. I've watched a lot of like YouTube videos, and I've read a lot of Wattpad stories where when this happened, she gets ignored. He already has a girl, and he's paying more attention to her. She's unhappy, and then yes, it's a story. Yes, they probably get together, but in real life, it doesn't always work out that way. However, on the upside, they may know each other from a very long time. And of course, you're gonna know that you're always secure with the person not going to, I wouldn't say cheat, because it's technically cheat, yes, but you know everything that the person is doing, so you're not really going behind of your back.
All right, thank you so much for sharing, Ashley. Okay, so still we have a few persons in the comment section, very buzzy. Let's see what you guys saying. It lasts longer, still no one do it. But who happier? Yes, with arranged marriages, both parties know divorce is not common. Majority of the time, they will eventually work on something out to love each other. Someone was asking if an arranged marriage and business marriage are the same. I think that's something we need to do more research on. However, I do know that in some cultures, like the parents will marry off the children for business reasons, like merging families would have like financial gain for the family in the long run, and also strengthen certain business relations. So we can look into that more, but I don't think it's a definite arranged marriage is always business, but we can look into the differences and the similarities. Moving on to the next topic within our political insight segment, which will be handled by Natty.
Hi, night again, everyone. So, do you think polygamous, English, relationships are more feasible? All right, I'm assuming everybody did RE or associate and know what this is. But in case we don't know what this is a type of relationship that includes more than one person in the relationship. Usually it's two, usually it's three, but it can go up. They're practiced in different places and in different religions. So we're just gonna run through a few terms with you guys so that you can follow. All right, so a nesting partner. This is a living partner, a person who is usually the primary partner, right? So even though there might be multiple persons in the one standard relationship, even with you guys' friendship, even though there might be a group of friends, it would be these two persons that are more closer together. It's the same vibe. Then we have the triad. This is between three people, all of whom are actively involved with one another. Then the V, this type of relationship has three people where two people are dating each other, but the other person isn't. Then we have the polyandrous. This is when a woman is in a relationship with more than one man, and vice versa, where a man is in a relationship with more than one woman. Then there's compersion, the feeling of joy, seeing another person's experience of joy. This is used as the opposite jealousy. Fluid bonded, an agreement to share bodily fluids with a person in a polygamous relationship. a couple may agree to be fluid bonded only to each other, which would mean they only need to use protection when doing it with that person and with anybody else outside of that one person. Yeah. Advantages. Humans are polygamous by nature, bigger selection of partners. 3, lower risk of being bored in a marriage. 4, bigger families imply more connections. 5, concept of one soulmate for everyone is flawed. 6, opportunity to expand your gene pool. 7, suitable for unequal male to female populations in a region. What is 7? Polygamy is a sort of status symbol. 8, lowers incentive to cheat in a marriage. 9, lowered fear of losing your partner. And finally, low need to make compromises. Now the disadvantages. So it can be problematic from a legal perspective. 2, religious concerns. 3, it may lead to jealousy. 4, having more than one partner can be expensive. 5, bigger home needed with multiple spouses. 6, polygamy may promote gender inequality. 7, some spouses may be treated quite poorly. 8, tensions in the household will be quite common. 9, spouses may not accept children from other spouses. 10, spouses may be stuck in unhappy marriages. 11, children may get neglected. 12, mental issues related to polygamy. Then the spread of disease within the union. Yes. All right,
There's
guys.
another one. Can you see it? The last one says inheritance issues are very common. So inheritance, like amongst the children.
All right, guys. So with that being said, and your previous knowledge of these type of relationships, what do you think? As I said, just raise your hand and I will come to you. So
Before we go ahead with the hands raised, there are a few persons going off in the chat, or about 15 notifications. So a few persons are saying, not for jealous persons, it might last longer, but it's still a no. That full of Jamaica, right? If this is from a biblical point of view, then no, it's neither feasible nor morally accepted. That's indirectly being done here at home. We don't have to look too far. Side chick and main chick sound like a regular Jamaican relationship. Da-da-dee. Fluid bonded, where it's at. Humans are polygamous by nature. That's debatable. Jealousy is the biggest disadvantage. In that type of relationship, it's not really love, but just sexual acts. I think it's unhealthy. Leave that to the narcissist. All right, go ahead with the hands that are raised.
All right, so I'm 50-50 with this. And of course, I agree because jealousy, everybody knows in Jamaica, the jealousy is always what causes that type of relationship to not work out. I don't see anything wrong with it because, I mean, from you guys can come to an agreement that you're going to share and all of that. There's nothing wrong. However, the part where it says opportunity to expand your gene pool, that kind of sound weird. When I say it somewhere, it reminds me of when you watching like the Asian dramas and they come in with like the royal palaces and those things, and you have the emperor having his empress, which is the main wife, and this whole heap of concubines. It's weird because as we keep saying the jealousy. Because of the jealousy, there's a lot of war in the harem, a lot of killing. This child died because of so and so and so. This person dead because of so and so and so. So I'm 50-50.
Thank you very much for sharing, Ashley. Leon, then Bianca.
I believe it's only for the faint of heart because that type of relationship, there's not much love. No one's really caring for each other on an emotional level, just on a sexual level where they can find advantages of having more than one partner. So, and personally for me, I'm a very jealous person and I love hard. So having more than one person that seems like a headache as it is.
Thank you very much for sharing. Bianca, go ahead.
Okay, good night, guys. So for me, I am not entirely against polyamorous relationships because how I view it, it's more it's not I don't really pay attention or much attention. Okay, let me not say that. I do not exclude the positives or what it could be. I think that persons need to be honest with themselves to know whether they are monogamous or polyamorous, because there's nothing wrong with either relationships. At the end of the day, there's going to be jealousy and all that, but you guys are adults, so be just be honest and ensure that this is what you want. That's my thing.
Thank you very much for sharing, Bianca. Go ahead, Marianne, and then after Marianne, it's Raheem.
Okay, hi guys, and good evening. I have a bit to say about this topic. I'm totally in disagreement with polygamous relationships. I believe that no matter, all right, if a person decides that, okay, I'm fine with it, no matter what, at some point in time, there will be issues. Remember, we are humans, and there will be times when we'll disagree over certain things, and then looking at polygamy from an African perspective, we've seen where a lot of these marriages have ended up really badly. People have died because of the many issues that have risen in these types of relationships. I also believe that it's not accepted from a biblical point of view. And, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to speak from that point of view, from that stance. All right. God created man with one, and he gave him one partner. And the Bible says that, we're supposed to only have one wife or one husband. You're supposed to cling to your wife. So I disagree totally with this, honestly. I don't know, many persons may not agree, but you also have spirit transfers. For example, a man might have a woman at home and then he cheats on her, and then all of a sudden you realize your wife start behaving a certain way. She not normally behave like that. You take on spirits from outside and you take it into your home. So we have to be careful. It looks pleasurable, it looks fun, it looks exciting, but not all that glitters is gold.
Thank you so much for sharing. Go ahead, Raheem.
Let's see, that young lady, the Christian, made a very funny point about me not going another one, in terms of this, I think if you realize everybody who speak before me, their point was that it was be too much jealousy and that problems. Well, there are problems in every relationship, even with just the standard one man, one woman. But I think the point that they're missing is that these relationships are, how I can put this now, these relationships are for persons who have great or excellent communication skills. So in terms of jealousy as well, I believe these relationships are for persons who are willing to share. So a jealous person not going to engage in a poly relationship, while a person who is more relaxed about letting their partner be free and doing other things will, because you have people who get satisfaction from watching their partner do other things and so on. And in terms of how it works, just looking at it from outside, that these relationships, these relationships is 100% talk, as in if one party feel a specific way, they say it. And if the other party feel a specific way, they say it. So there's constant communication about what is going on and how they feel, so that there's no altercation within the relationship. So I'm not gonna say I'm against it. I would do it, but if you want to do it, and you and your girl and the other girl, or you and your girl and the other man happy and not doing thing, and reason is not me not really have nothing for say, cause the three are not happy and it a work for the three of uno. So me just somebody my feel say somebody, for most Jamaicans, with the jealousy and so, or we grew up, a one partner with have and so, now go in a one poly relationship. But you have other people just more relaxed and willing to share. And as I say, you have people enjoy seeing them partner do things with other people. That get them, get them in the mood and so. It just depends on your preference.
Thank you so much for sharing, Raheem. All right, so the next persons are, we have some repeats. But before I take the repeat, before I take Bianca and Marianne, I'm gonna ask Pamela and Black to go, and then we'll go Bianca and Marianne. Go ahead, Pamela.
These type of relationships, you see, for me, is for unique persons. Persons who have certain understanding, and as my other colleague said, certain understanding, and they are comfortable with this type of relationship. Me, myself, and I'm not saying I wouldn't totally go into one of those relationships, but if my husband can take care of me very well, provide for me very well, and maybe have another relationship or so, maybe probably I would think about it, But even the other day, I don't know if you people were watching, I don't know where, was it on TVJ or somewhere, where this lady was saying that she has many relationships. She's married, but she have many other relationships, friend, for this, for that. And she says she's open and she loves different things. She loves to explore. So these relationships really are for, apart from the countries that it is their culture, are for, because we have it in Jamaica too, are for people who have money, and they can do what they want with their money, and they communicate and offer certain understanding. But sometimes it's good to explore. That's my take.
Thank you so much for sharing, Pamela. Go ahead, Black.
Yes, I would say that I'm not totally against it. However, we know in Jamaica, yes, you might have, one of the issues though with this is that you might be in a relationship, for example, and your partner will go behind your back, being a what's the term, polygamy person? Yes. And you have to find out another way. So it's not really an agreement between both of you. So it's not that you agree to have an open relationship, but it is that it is just, like it just throw down on you, they're expecting you to accept it. So that's how we Jamaicans put it also. So that's how the jealousy thing would have come in, and as the persons can manage it or whatever the case is. But I believe that to have a good relationship, polygamy relationship is, I would prefer it be an agreement between the two partners or the three partners.
All right, thank you so much for sharing, Black. So we're going to take a few of the persons that are repeating. So Bianca and then Marianne. Go ahead, Bianca.
Okay, just adding to something that somebody said earlier about persons focusing on the jealousy and so on. With Jamaica, we have to take in consideration that we are a predominantly Christian nation, and as such, we are monogamous. So it would be tricky to say, you're going to step outside of that and do and be polyamorous or explore polygamy, whatever it may be. So yeah, it's a lot of communication, lots and lots of communication. You get me? And if you're going to be in a polyamorous relationship, one would assume that you are not monogamous. You get me? So yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Thank you so much for sharing. All right, so Marianne, would you still want to speak? Because I realize your hand is lowered.
I was going to say, those type of relationships are for people who are mature.
Okay.
Mature and well, those relationships work for people who are mature. If you are not grown up, don't venture into things like those because it will only cause issues, problems on top of problems. So that's my take on it.
All right, thank you so much. I see two more hands. Raheem, is it that you want to go again or your hand was left raised?
Yeah, I did raise it again, but
all right, no. Okay. Go ahead if you need to.
Regards to what the female before me said, I wouldn't classify it as mature people go in it. I think it is really just preference. You have mature people, however, them still jealousy is just a thing every human have or face, or whatever term you want to use. So I just feel like it just comes down to preference. I think a person would know internally if they would do a poly or not. And if you don't have that feeling, say, I would do a poly, and then you go and try a poly, it not gonna work out for you. While you have the feelings, say this is what more, and you find a partner with open and I say the same thing, and when you find a third party, it a go work because it all through no one, so we're not gonna find a way to make it work.
All right, Ryan, thank you for sharing. Before we move on to Dominic and Marianne, a few of the comments are saying, but most times they share without giving the other partner a heads up, yes, which is cheating. The difference, I guess, in the polyamorous relationship is that the parties are consenting and they're aware. But does it stop cheating though? That couldn't work for me. Imagine me choking the other person. Oh no, she chose violence. Okay. All right. So just to clarify, guys, cheating is not the same as having a polyamorous relationship. In a polyamorous relationship, you would have a discussion with your partner. This is something that you both want to do. So one of the partners should not be pressuring the other person into saying, do this, do this. This is something that you both are comfortable with. And it's an agreement. It's similar to you telling someone, hey, I like you, can we be together? And then agreeing with you and courting you and dating you. That's an agreement between two persons. So it is not cheating per se. I mean, we do have persons that are out there with their side chicks, as us locals call it. That is not necessarily a polyamorous relationship, because in a polyamorous relationships, there's consent, there's awareness. If you're unaware that your partner is out and about and sporting, then is it really a polyamorous relationship? Or if it is, it's most definitely one-sided, which doesn't make it a polyamorous relationship. All right. So we're going to take Dominic and then Marianne, and then we're going to move on to the next section. Go ahead, Dominic, and welcome to the meeting.
Good night, everyone. Just to piggyback on what the individual had said about Jamaica having a monogamous culture, I think that these relationships are culture oriented. Majority of them are from a society who it is a norm, and persons would have been raised to see their families operate like that. So they know how to successfully make a relationship like that work. So to come in the context of Jamaica, we're not used to it. So I don't think it would work as much as those other religions or those other races.
Thank you so much for sharing. Go ahead, Pamela, see, I want to say more, you know.
Yeah,
Marian,
no,
you guys
I
really
want to
enjoying this
say
topic.
so.
You guys really enjoying this topic, you know. Go ahead, Marian, and then go ahead, Pamela, after.
Okay. What I just wanted to add to what the young lady said before. Can you imagine now, agreeing to go into a relationship like that, and without thinking of the emotional, the emotions that are the emotional issues that will arise later down the line. All right. For example, I'm married, right? And then what if my partner decides that, all right, let's try this. And then I agree. And then my partner ends up falling in love with that other person. That's problems for me. You understand? So hell no. No way.
Yes, but a poly relationship, that is the point for all three parties be in love with each other. So as me say, I understand what you are saying because we used to, and you used to your husband and you alone. But if you agree to it, well, your case would have be different, I guess.
In a situation like this, guys, I'm gonna allow Marian and Bianca to speak after me. But in a situation like this, it all comes back to cultural difference as well, and like personal preference. If it is not for you, then you won't be able to completely understand the rationale for someone else to do it and want to partake. For me, I don't know if that's something I'd want to get into. Not because I'm a jealous person, but I don't know if I'd be comfortable. Everybody is different and everybody have their different preferences, right? So some of us, for religious reasons, for personal reasons, whatever, we don't see how this is feasible. It doesn't make sense. And for others, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense. If you want to be in a polyamorous relationship with two other persons, and you're consenting to be in a relationship with these two other persons, it's a three-way full circle kind of relationship. That's fine for you, but it's not for everyone. All right. Go ahead, Bianca.
Can I interject? I want to interject, Jay. Just let me just say something. I'm just reminding everyone that I know of. Do you remember the Morgan Heritage? The Morgan Heritage, yes. The Morgan Heritage. There are singers, reggae singers in Jamaica here. Their dad, he has an open relationship. He was married, and then he has another wife. He has two wives, but because in Jamaica our laws that we can't have two wives, but he has the two wives living together in the same house and with 13 children.
Yes, but having two wives and a poly relationship is different. So is it that he married two times or all three of them was in a relationship?
All of
that
them.
That is the question. Because having two wives and a poly relationship is two different things.
No, what I'm saying, all of them, in Jamaica, you cannot marry more than once. What I'm saying, the two ladies agree and they live together and have children with him right here in Jamaica. So I'm saying we do have it here.
Yeah, we do. Maybe it's not as common or not as popular.
It's not common, but we have it here.
It's here. Go ahead, Bianca.
Yeah,
and then that will be it. Sorry, after Bianca, that's it. So we're moving on to the next section. All right. And guys, remember, if you want to speak, please raise your hand so we can take you in order.
Okay. Another thing, I realized that persons are focusing on the sexual aspects of the relationship without taking into consideration that relationships are, there is the emotional side and the sexual side. For polyamorous relationships, I don't think that it robs you of that emotional, aspect. I personally think that it can definitely add to it, and I think that persons should look at it from that perspective. Like think just as how you're thinking about the sexual parts. Think about the emotional part too.
All right, guys, thank you so much for sharing. That concludes our political insights section, and we're moving on to the next category for this meeting. The next category is confession story time. What was the moment you realized someone was crazy, crazy? I caught my boyfriend cheating, so I immediately broke up with him and refused to forgive him. So he decided to show his loyalty to me by carving my initials in his face. This man was crazy. He would make me talk to him on the phone the entire way to work. Then once I was clocked in, my work phone rang. As I gave my greeting, all I heard on the other line was, "Yeah, you better be at work like you said." Click. Okay. On the third day of us talking, he got upset and escalated to insulting and calling me the B word. So I never spoke to him again. 1 week later, he texts me as his sister saying, "D got shot and is in the ICU. I'm texting you because your number is in his phone. It seems like y'all were close." And the person mentioned that this person was a Libra. Another post from the same person says, "Stole all my lashes out my car. I keep some in there just in case." It was about 10 pairs of lashes. When I asked him if he had my bag of lashes, he said, "Hell yeah, you won't be blinking all sexy in another man's face. You only need to look cute for me." And she's saying that person was a Virgo. So I dated this guy that had a girlfriend. I didn't know he had a girlfriend. When she found out via Instagram, she turned up to his house where I was staying with a gun to shoot me. And afterwards, I went through his phone and he had texted her that he thought her action was so sexy. My friend called me to help her grab some things from her boyfriend's when they broke up. Next thing I know, she's sprinting down the stairs with a PS4 and his prosthetic leg, then got in the car and said, "Let's see if he can run behind other girls now." Okay. She smacked me in the face and knocked my glasses off clean. When I said, "Why did you just hit me?" she came back with, "What are you talking about? I didn't touch you." Then asked me what happened to my glasses in the most sincere tone she's ever used. I was in the car with my folks and everything was good until this dude started doing 75 to 80 miles per hour and screamed, "Satan, take the wheel, kill me now." When he was slowed down, finally, we was at a red light. I hopped out and waited for Dart to come. When I woke up and my ex had broken in my house, and was standing over me while I slept. Okay, creepy. My first college roommate pretended to be pregnant for several months. And then when she couldn't fake it anymore, after I was institutionalized for unrelated reasons, she told me she gave birth and it died and she named it after me. Okay. She stabbed me in my chest, came to the hospital crying like someone else did it. There's some really crazy stories. Got home from the store and saw that my ex had wrote a note saying we were over and left my key. 2 hours later, he walks out the closet after hiding under a pile of clothes. He said it was to test my loyalty. I'm just glad I was tired. She lied to the police, said I beat her up and got me locked up there. But cameras at my job had me at work during the time she said it happened. Then she came to court, said she lied because I was seeing someone else and she wanted me away from her. Guess what, Judge? Judge didn't do anything to her. Okay, that's really sad. We should really invest in some punctuation though, not gonna lie. I dated this man whose friend asked him why he never buys me anything. After his friend left and he punched the wall next to my head and said I was giving his friend energy to say that. And then I said, "I'm gonna leave him." He started crying and burned himself. Okay. Dude woke me up out of my sleep, told me to find a ride home at 3 a.m. I ordered a lift home. He followed the lift to my house and asked me why I was going and asked me, was I going to get in the car with him and go back to his house? Nah. During a snapped moment with my abusive ex, I struck him with a glass candlestick that sent him to the hospital to get 72 stitches. I took him, of course, to the hospital. When we got home, he said, I know you love me because you saved my life. Dude, I didn't want jail time. Talking about saved my life. Me and a dude had an argument. I told him I needed space, and dude called my number from 3 different phones nonstop for 2 hours. I couldn't even call anyone. All right, guys, with those confessions of like the moment they realized someone was crazy, what are your thoughts? The floor is open. Raise your hands. Let's discuss. Someone says she got space. All right. These are funny as hell. Great. Restraining order, please. Oh my, someone said they would kick him in the no-no square. Oh no, that's not nice. Unhealthy obsession. That's not love, that's obsession. Okay. All right, guys, the floor is open. I'm finished with the comment sections. Let me hear your voice. What do you think about all of that? Ashley, go ahead.
The leg. Yeah, that was totally weird. I would have just cheered her on and said, go girl. That one really was funny. And then the last one, what was the last one again?
Do you think it was ableist though? Ableist of her to take his prosthetic leg and then say, I want to see him run behind some girls now.
Yes, serves him right. He shouldn't be cheating. And the last one, where she said she couldn't even call anyone. She said she needed space. So I'm just saying she got her space. That's space. He's at one side of the country or wherever the hell he is, and he's calling you. That's space. That's enough space. I mean,
someone is asking why women always want to hurt the games when they're upset. Because that's how women feel in control. Because she grabbed his PS4 and his leg and ran. But I'm like, if he doesn't care about his girl and he cares about the game, then I'm gonna snatch the game.
As she should.
All right, moving on to the next one. So this one says, my boyfriend got another woman pregnant and had been spoiling her throughout the pregnancy. Went all out with baby luxurious needs and organized damage payments. On the week he blocked me. He done all of this behind my back. All to find out he's not the father. What are your thoughts on that one? All right, Marianne, your hand is raised. Go ahead.
The only thing I would say to him, Abe.
Oh my.
Because I mean, I'm right here. You need to get another woman. Well, maybe it wasn't, maybe that wasn't the ulterior motive, but everything that we do, there are consequences, But honestly, knowing me, I wouldn't gloat too much, but honestly, I'd rub it in his face a little bit.
Okay, thank you for sharing. I see in the comment section, one person say, rich you, and someone else say, that rough dude. Thank you for sharing. Anybody else wants to go? All right, moving on to the third confession. This one is a bit long. So yeah, that happened. I'm a 24-year-old female and my brother is 27. Around 2 years ago, when I first joined Reddit on my old account, I posted a not safe for work subreddit a lot. Not safe for work, guys, means like adult content usually. I'm fairly confident in my body and didn't mind showing it off at the time. Now that I have a boyfriend, however, my tune has changed on the subject matter. I'd post at least twice a day and get a bunch of messages. One guy kept commenting and messaging me, telling me I was sexy and how much he loved my body. For some reason, I kept talking to him and we basically developed a sexual relationship and sexted all the time, but we never showed our faces. For those who don't know what sexting is, it's when you're sending like nudes. So you're texting, but it's sexual. So you're sending nudes, having flirtatious conversations over the phone, messaging, etc. Keep in mind that I was always very private about my identity because I didn't want anyone to blackmail me. I even made up a name and location as to where I lived. I thought it was a bit weird that this guy had the same name as my brother. Although my brother is very good looking and a 10 out of 10 would bang if he wasn't my brother. I lived in the same state, but I figured it was simply a coincidence. Don't laugh. I don't like that. For his birthday, a few months after we met, he sent me a picture of himself without a shirt and his magic stick erect and told me he wished I was there to flavor taste him and asked me if I liked the new tattoo he got for his 25th birthday. But I was like, I'm in the living room downstairs celebrating my brother's birthday, his 25th one. It was the same tattoo my brother showed me earlier that day. It was the same bathroom, same shower curtains, same hair products, same perfume, same toothbrush colors, same everything. I was mortified, but I didn't stop. My brother is a really hot guy, and I like what he had below the equator. I couldn't help myself, so I continued to sext with him for a few more months until I told him I'd gotten a boyfriend and could no longer do that with him. He understood, and we went our separate ways. The worst part, I still touch myself to his pictures on occasions. Okay, that was a bit heated. Oh my God, that one. That's a true confession right there. So if you were the comment section saying, sweet home Alabama, hallelujah, oh dear God, woo, no. Soup hours I cook over this club, no, so I mean, we just see the menu. It's not we find the ingredients, they find themselves. Come on. All right, guys, feel free to take the floor if you have any comments, any statements on that advice section. Okay, Ashley, go ahead, and then Dominique.
Brother and sister make good soup?
No, they don't.
Okay, I just have one little phrase to say. The Lord is my shepherd. So all along, she did not realize that until the boy's 25th birthday. I mean, she said he was similar to her brother, and then she saw
She said he has the same name. She just said he has the same name. They were sexting, and they didn't show any faces because they didn't want anybody to blackmail him. So she never knew.
But she never knew her brother's voice.
Or no, they weren't talking like on voice call. They were just texting, and they were exchanging nudes and stuff. So it's like an anonymous thing in a way. You know, they're texting each other and flirting, but they're not exchanging their faces and their real names. So he gave his real name, but she didn't give her real name because she didn't want anybody to use the pictures of her and her face and blackmail her.
No, but seriously, oh my God.
Remember, it's the internet, you know. They can't be talking to anybody behind that screen. What are the odds it's your brother?
No, but Jay, why you always finding these types?
They find me.
Last week it was the father and the daughter.
It's not my fault. They find me, promise. Dominique, do you still want to speak?
Sure, I wanted to share a crazy experience that I had, but it's not really related to any brother sister thing. Right.
Hopefully not. Go ahead.
Right, so I was on vacation some time ago, and I met a guy while I was staying at a hotel, and we were having a good time for like the space of a week, right? And then when everything started to get weird was when he wanted to marry me. Like he literally proposed and he wanted to take me back to Africa with him. And that was when everything just got really weird, and I ended up checking out earlier than
That reminded me of the Eddie Murphy movie.
Question. Did you twang at any point for making him think same could I get a green card?
Actually, no. We're just talking as friends. That's it. Literally nothing at all. So it was just like a big jump.
It could be some, I don't want to jump the gun, but it could be some organ harvesting, because that just sounds
it was scary, very scary for me. Yeah.
Marianne, you want to go ahead? And thank you for sharing. That was interesting. Marianne, you still want to speak? No? All right, then no problem. I'm gonna read the comment section because you guys are always feisty in the chat. Always feisty. So it says that's just nasty. That is 200% past weird. She did well and know all along, man. That happens when girls want to play, guys. Did just want a piece of bro. Oh no. And vice versa. If it's my brother, I'm blocking immediately and do 200 Hail Mary. I'm not continuing any conversation. Actually, I had something like that with, I don't know if I should read this. I had something like that with my cousin when I was 6 years old. It's funny now though. Oh no, we're not gonna read the rest of that chat. No, thank you. So the next segment that we have is the advice segment. But before we move on, relating to that story, I find it very interesting. It's like, I feel like that sister is unique. But at the same time, the brother does not know he's talking to his sister like that because she's not sent any face pics and she's using a fake name and fake area of residence, right? So all along, this dude just think it's a random girl or something. And then she didn't even have the nerves to admit it to him and be like, hey, bro, this is what was happening. And then she continued to use the pictures afterwards for not good reasons. So I feel like she's messed up as a person. But I don't know, to each their own, but I just, that's not for me.
She have goals and ambition.
Not the right ones talking about. All right, guys, the last segment of the night is the advice segment. You'll be hearing from all three speakers. That's myself, Ashley, and Natty. So I'll go first. Natty will take over and then Ashley will conclude. Okay, we're going to be reading stories that persons have posted, specifically asking for advice. So the floor will be open after each section is read. Okay, so the caption on this one reads, how to cope with guilt from divorcing my 33-year-old wife of 2 years who was just diagnosed with depression, anxiety, and bipolar. Okay, this should be fun. I feel like people are judging me for deciding I've had enough. My wife does not know how to handle conflict. She yells and threatens to leave and then comes back an hour or two later begging for forgiveness. She claims she doesn't know why she does that, but during arguments, she feels scared. She went to a psychologist and a psychiatrist. Why these words? I normally can speak. A psychologist.
Psychiatrist.
Yes, great, thank you. I normally can speak, I promise you guys, it's not me on a regular. And was diagnosed with a slew of disorders, including what I listed above, which would be depression, anxiety, bipolar. She also had a prior diagnosis of ADHD. She claimed her upbringing didn't expose her to a healthy way to argue, and she thought that yelling and cursing was normal, but she wants to learn no to do it the right way. It's all just too much. She started medication and therapy, but I'm already at the point of no return. I just don't know how to get over the guilt. When you say in sickness, in health, does this include mental illness? Even when there's been so much disrespect, when do you know it's okay to throw in the towel? The floor is open, guys, and I want to speak on this first, and then I'll take any hands that are raised. So, in sickness and in health would most definitely include mental illness. It means it's no, okay, I'll be there when you're sick with a broken arm, but not when you're there sick with cancer. You don't get to choose the sickness. It's in sickness and in health means good times and bad. At the same time, my response is conflicted. Like, I don't know what he's going through, and I don't know how much she's trying to change, meaning it is a lot to deal with somebody that has, mental illness, because they're going through their own issues and they're trying to cope. And perhaps what is normal to them is unhealthy. And then they're projecting this hate, whether it's unintentional or not, they're still projecting it onto you and you feel horrible. And nobody wants to feel like that, especially not from your partner, your significant other, etc. Right? But at the same time, it's like if she's working on herself, good for her, bravos to her. But because I'm not in a relationship, it's hard for me to say, okay, she's working on herself and she's putting in the work. You need to just support her, because I don't know. I can't see the full picture to say, okay, she's really trying, or she's just using it as an excuse. Because you do have people that they just want to stay that way. You do have people. You have people that, yes, they know what's wrong and they're working to fix their issues. But you genuinely have people who will just, okay, well, they have this ailment or they have this illness and they'll use it to manipulate you continuously and use it as an excuse to mistreat you, which that's just the reality. Like, some people are just like that. It could be because of their upbringing, and it could just be they're a terrible person. So it's really hard for me to truly say, okay, just leave her because she's not trying hard enough, or okay, stay because she's really trying, because I don't know the full picture. But assuming it's one or the other, assuming she's trying her hardest, I think the husband should try to push through. I think maybe he should consider therapy for himself and to see if this is something he's able to handle. Because in sickness and in health, yeah, maybe he just thought he could and he can't. But it would make no sense to stay in something that is tearing him down if it's just something that he's just not meant, or not just, he doesn't have the capacity to handle. I would say he needs to seek therapy and then perhaps give it a time frame. You're in a marriage. 2 years is a short time, but a lot can go wrong in 2 years. But I would say 2 years is a short time to say throw in the towel. I would say 5 years, 7 years. If it's a marriage that you're really committed to and you have so much ties to, more time. Give it a little more time versus 2 years. I'm not saying 2 years your life can turn upside down, but at the same time, is this person not trying to get better? Is this person, yes, they're going to therapy, but are they doing what they're supposed to? Going to therapy is not just going there and listening to what they have to say. It's realizing your bad habits, your bad behaviors, things that you need to change, things that you need to correct, things that you project onto other people that may hurt them. Because what's the point of you getting therapy and at the end of the day, me need therapy because of you? How is that fair? You know what I mean? So I feel like I would need more details to really assess and say, okay, the best case scenario is X or Z. But you do have people that are out there that they know what's wrong with them and they don't care to change. You can't change them until they want to change, and they'll use their illness against you forever. They'll always, it's because I'm this, it's because I'm that. They'll always manipulate the situation. And that's like another form of abuse, but it exists. I'm not saying that's what she's doing, but I'm saying it exists. So it's hard for me to say, which way the husband should go. It all depends. I would just need more context. And I probably need context from both sides. The floor is open if anyone else wants to speak. I see the comment sections going off. I'm going to read those, and then we can move on to if anyone wants to speak. One stop at Bellevue, but she was diagnosed by professionals, and like he said, she wants to change. So seek help her and himself. Okay. So two persons have their hands raised. Let me see who is first. Ashley and then Marianne. Go ahead, Ashley.
Well, for me, no. Even ask the question in sickness and in health. It doesn't matter what kind of sickness the person may have. From you love that person very much, it does not matter what the person does. There must be some way you can just find it in your heart to forgive the person. And that means that you didn't really love the person. I mean, if him try and he has no other thing, like he goes therapy, he does marriage counseling and all of that, and he also helps her, I would say okay, but she's as it says here, she is trying. So find something. That's just me.
Thank you for sharing, Ashley. Go ahead, Marianne.
Okay, what I would suggest is, a lot of times we get fed up and frustrated with others, but if the shoe were on the other foot, what would we want? And my final comment on this would be, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. So the same amount of patience you want a person to have with you, afford the person the same.
Thank you for sharing, Marianne. I will say though, I don't know if that's always the same. That's accurate in our cases, because I do feel like each of us have different mental capacities, and each of us can handle different situations. Some of us certain situations we don't know how to handle and would just crumble. Not all, but some. So do unto others as you'd like them to do unto you. Some persons would say, make him leave. So make him go on. If me and no one go with me, he can't help me. Make him go on. So some persons would say, oh, I want him to stay because I don't want someone to stay for me, The next advice segment will be handed by Natty.
So my 27-year-old boyfriend quits his job, and we have 24 million, that's the pay, and does nothing around the house. Should I leave? So a little backstory. I broke my leg and had to go on a sick leave from work as I have a physically demanding job. And as a result, my salary has more than half. I've since applied and got an office job so I can return to work as soon as possible. The job doesn't start until next month though. My boyfriend decided to quit his job and he spends most of his time smoking weed, playing video games, and eating junk food. I am still on crutches, but I find myself doing 95% of the housework. He's extremely messy. I have to constantly nag him and ask him to do things. As of right now, he's been talking about hovering for 2 weeks now. It's been almost 2 days since he's last hovered. It's one of the things I can't do myself at the moment. He's
Not
just so lazy and unmotivated sometimes. I hate that I have to nag him to get him to get anything done. I'm starting to feel like I'm his mother. Whenever I bring it up, he either gets defensive or he says he'll change. I had to clean his tobacco off the kitchen table today. It's been there 2 days. I've been the tidiest, and neither am I, to be honest, but he's getting worse and worse. And now I have a broken leg. Like, I can't do as much as I'd like. Is this just wheeze? Am I expecting too much? Am I being uptight and boring? Is this a silly reason to leave someone?
The floor is open, guys. Give your advice. What do you think she should do in that situation? Oh, someone saying they didn't hear one part of it about the 2 days. Let's go back. It said, as of right now, he's been talking about hovering for 2 days now. It's been almost 2 weeks since he last hovered. It's one of the things I can't do by myself at the moment. Hovered, I'm not sure what that is. Hovered and hovered. So what do you think she should do? Do you think she's overreacting? You think it's silly reason to want to leave him and end the relationship? What do you think? Hi, iPhone. If you could rename yourself so we know who you are. So let's see, some hands are raised here. Hi, Shante. Welcome, welcome. All right. Marianne and then Sandy. Go ahead, Marianne.
Okay, so I'm looking at it from two different perspectives. Firstly, him losing his job could have put him in a mental state that, you know, he becomes unresponsive to certain things, and, you know, he lacks motivation and all of that. But at the same time, I believe that if the woman gets injured, that should spark something if you love that woman any at all. Yes, it could be that you know, he's at a state in that mental depression that nothing around him matters much, you know, but I believe that if I am hurt, you should be hurting as well as my partner. And for the fact that me being hurt doesn't prick something in him, and it doesn't push him to say, all right, I'm lacking in some area. Let me try and fulfill my role as a man, you know, in some other way to try and help out as much as possible. She's hurt, you know, so it shows that if I am hurting, no matter what you're going through, it's all about you. He seems a bit selfish to me. That's what I'm seeing there.
Thank you so much for sharing. The next person had their hand up was Sandy. And after Sandy is Natty. Go ahead, Sandy.
Hi, good night, everyone. In regards to this one, I think it said that he quit his job when she was injured, not lost his job, right?
Yes, it says he quit his job. She has a broken leg, so she's on a medical leave because of it.
All right. Well, my first impression was that he's probably going through a phase in his life, maybe depression, and that is something that we really don't understand unless you go through it ourselves. So he's probably in some mental space where he doesn't even realize that he's doing something that is hurting her. And in regards to her saying he's lazy or he's not doing whatever, I'm sure he didn't just get up and stop doing them. I'm sure he wasn't doing them before, or he wasn't doing some things, but it's just that because she's there now consistently, they're popping up and she's seeing it and it bothers her more. So I don't think she should give up on the relationship, because some of the things she's noticing now would have already been there, but she's working 9 to 5, so they didn't really bother her before. And yeah, she's going through something. She has a broken leg, but he's also going through something. So she should also see what he's going through, and they can probably work it out together. She should have a conversation with him, like a serious conversation, find out what is wrong. Because quitting your job, unless you're a lazy person before it takes some consideration, it means you have gotten to a state where you cannot do it anymore. So I think he's going through something, and she should also have a conversation with him to see what it is. And yes, I know she is hurt, but he's also a person and he can go through stuff while she's going through her stuff also. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you so much for sharing, Sandy. I wanted to say though, I believe she mentioned earlier that he wasn't doing much before, but he's gotten worse. Like he's gotten so much worse, and she can't do much to help around the house. So I do agree that he could be going through something. Quitting his job, man, quitting his job. At the same time, I don't know if he quit the job before she got the injury. So it could have been a case where he was unemployed before she even, was hurt. So maybe I don't know if she being injured, if he would still want to quit because I don't know the mental space he's in. I feel like, maybe the female should probably take some time away from him, like a few days. And I say this because sometimes when you're overcome by like strong emotions and you're frustrated, you can only see things from one perspective. You're not able to like compartmentalize your feelings from rational, etc. So, like take a little breather, just take a step back and like see the full picture. So we'll and come again. Because I don't think she's able to see everything like what we're discussing here. We're still talking about his mental state and all those stuff. I don't think she's even like consider it. And sometimes we get so caught up in our own issues that we might forget, or absent-minded may not realize that other persons have their own stuff going on that they're trying to deal with, that they're trying to figure out. So I do agree with you on so many points. Go ahead, Sandy. Okay, and then Ashley. Sandy, you lower your voice. You still want to speak?
I was just saying, comparing the first one and the second one. We were suggesting that, well, not we, well, some persons are suggesting that the man stick it out. And for this one, we're saying the lady should take a break to just look at things. But we didn't think the guy should take a break and separate from his wife. I just think.
Well, I did say he should seek therapy to see what's.
Well, no, not you. I didn't specifically say I said some reason. So I'm just saying.
I think we're more sympathetic towards our females than we are towards. Yes. I think it's just the conditioning, unfortunately.
I would wish that this comment was more elaborative, or it was extended some more, because I'd just like to ask one question. Is it a case that she knew he was this way before they got in a relationship? Because if that was the case, then she should not be complaining, because she knew what she was going in for. Why complain? You opted for it.
I see the message in the comment section. Someone says, never too late to leave. They are both young, trying to figure life out. Yeah. Okay. The next advice portion. Matthew will continue from here.
Back again, guys. Okay. How to let a guy down nicely. So I'm a 27-year-old female. I met a 28-year-old male at work. Yes, I'm already kicking myself for pursuing someone at work. We only talked maybe 5 times at work. He was nice. He works in a different department now, and he emailed me asking if I'd like to go to coffee with him. So I responded, and we met for a coffee outside of work. We met for a coffee for an hour and a half. I just wasn't feeling it, He was very eager, almost aggressive. Blurt out that we should go on a weekend trip already. Got defensive when I say I was meeting a friend later for dinner. He texted me 20 minutes after the coffee and asked to hang out again. Then he texted me nightly for at least 3 hours at a time. These conversations never went anywhere and were about stupid things. He asked to hang out again, and I told him I would see him around at work, thinking he'd get the hint. He let a week pass, and he texted me at 6 a.m. in the morning asking if we could hang out again. I was hoping he got the hint when I told him I'll see him at work, but obviously he didn't. I really just wanted to go see him at this point, but A, this means that I don't want to unless I have to, and B, we will still see each other at work since our workplace isn't that big. I just don't like him, and I don't want to waste his time or mine. I don't want to tell him I'm seeing someone else, because I don't know if we're actually dating or if he just wants to be friends. He seems like he wants to date, but I don't know what to assume anymore. Guys, how should I handle this?
Yeah. I'm not one to hurt people's feelings, but at the same time, I not like grown corner. So if I don't like you, simply put, in a nice, decent way without you feeling offended or anything, tell him the truth. People need to learn nowadays. So just let your mind be heard, Stop growing corner. Because when you do those things, you kind of lead people on, you know? Just be plain. Sometimes it hurts. The truth hurts, so it may cause an offense, but it's not a sin. All right, so just be truthful. I think it's the best and easiest way to get out of complicated situations.
Alrighty, thank you. Next, I see. Wait, is it Sandy that just went?
No. Well,
Okay, so Sandy,
for this one.
you can go
Okay.
ahead now.
All right. So this one is sticky because if she lets him down and he has a problem with that, it's going to complicate things at work. So if it was me and she said that she's unsure if it's just friendship, which I don't think it's friendship because your friend wouldn't be texting you at 6 in the morning for just a friendship when he's going to see you at work in 2 hours. So I'm sure it's something more that he wants. I would tell him that I would go for that second coffee or whatever. And then I would tell him that I like him as a friend, but I'm looking for something else. And he doesn't really fit the bill in the nicest way I could possibly tell him. And that I hope that he meets somebody that he likes and we'll see each other at work as friends. That's what I'd do. And then if he continue texting me, I'd change my number.
Okay, thank you very much. So, I know a lot of persons have been in this situation where the feelings are not reciprocated, or you just don't like the person, or you don't like their approach to the situation, right, guys? So, me personally, we know like when you're in them situations here, you kind of don't want to hurt the person, I say mixed signals. You kind of hide out the person if you can hide out the person. Yeah, you did do it. So I think like the best thing to do would have be to talk to them, I should say, on a one away and hold like a meds to say, yo, XYZ. If you're in a relationship, obviously that make them know that from day one. But just to straight up say, I'm not interested, or etc. 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 because you've been up with me for coffee and then get upset. Those are red flags right there, like big red flags. So just you don't know how people stay. Have some mad people out there, especially if you come from Jamaica, then can't take no. Them can't take no for your answer. But just be respectfully so that everybody don't feel like you did depend like a styling thing or you did a lead them on, because she'll make it continue for a while and then he go say, but you did a lead me on do XYZ. So that's what I think.
Few persons in the comment section saying them feel a way for shame people because they don't like it and they're very prideful. Exactly. Texting at 6 in the morning shows that you're the first thing on his mind. Sorry. Now make the man make me change my number. But I have to understand himself. Get a restraining order. I'm going to share a story with you guys. The persistency of this person, a personal story. So in my community, there was this young man that was flirting with me, looking and whatever. I'm gonna just tell him blatantly because somebody who works part-time and works full-time and studies part-time. I'm like, to let you, I don't have no time for nobody right now but myself. I barely have time for myself. I'm not interested in nothing. And this dude literally said to me that you can't tell me no. If I want to mega get to some, I just said to him no sir, that sounds like some rape vibe and I ain't about it. Man said if I just so. Yeah man, distance wicked. Told my family about him just to be just in case, because I work long hours sometimes and come home in the night. I'm like, no, that person here. No, thank you. So some people just don't know the word no. Them don't respect the word no. Some people I just saw them stay. I mean, I said them right, but I saw some people stay. So even yes, you could have said no in every language and I'm not understanding. I see Pamela and Sandy have their hands raised. Go ahead.
I was just what I was gonna say is just what you have said. You know, you have some people who you know, some men, and it goes both sides. You tell them no, and they're not taking the no. And sometimes you have to go the extra mile, block them. You have to, you know, do some things that you would normally do, you know, as an individual, just to get rid of them out of your life. So sometimes it's not that easy to say they don't accept the no, you know, but it's, for me, it's not good to lead anybody astray. If you're not interested in the relationship, then, you know, interested in another person, you say, listen, I'm not up to it, and you're serious. You don't lead them on, you know. Some of us, we tend to lead on for, let me check out if him, see if him have money, or, you know, something like that. And then, you know, it end up the wrong way. That's, you know, what I have to say.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I just want to add to what you were saying. When you were saying sometimes you have to block them. I'm not gonna lie to you. You have times that even when you block them still find a way to try and reach out to you. Sometimes they're so persistent. Like, I just don't understand. I feel like the word no just not strong enough, even though it should be the only word they need for ear. Once you say no, it's no. You shouldn't need a word stronger than no. You understand what I mean? Two letters. No. N-O, not O-N on. No. But it's true. Go ahead, Sandy, and then Bianca.
I'm just gonna agree with both you and Pamela, I think it was. Well, she basically said most of what I was gonna say, because boundaries, a lot of persons don't know the word no. Just gonna say it wasn't work. It wasn't a person who was trying to date me or anything, but I had to change my number because my boss didn't know boundaries. She would call you on Sunday nights, and it's like she doesn't know personal space. So I changed my number. So sometimes we have to go to the extreme to get rid of problems that we wouldn't otherwise get rid of. So changing a number is one of the solutions that I could think of to get her to stop calling me outside of work hours whenever she feels like.
All right. Thank you so much for sharing, Sandy. Some persons say in the comments, they'll email you, even write your letters. Some people even create alternate accounts. She mad, or is a woman? She a look. Maybe we need to a few more O's on the word. No, it's too short. Okay, so we need to have no with a lot of O's behind it. Okay. Go ahead, Bianca, and after Bianca is Kevin.
Sandy said most of what I wanted to say, but my advice to anyone would definitely be, if you have to go to the extreme to get rid of a person, or just to, in some cases, protect yourself, because people are crazy. You get me? Like, people are sick, are out there with undiagnosed personality disorders and stuff like that. So if it takes changing a number, I don't know, change a number. You get me? And yes, they will find other ways to contact you. It's so scary, bro. It's honestly, it's really so scary to even think about all these things. And I've personally been in so many situations. Like, I've had a stalker when I was in grade 6. I had a stalker until for 3 years. This boy was stalking me from the 6th grade straight up to when I was in 3rd form. I literally moved parishes, and this is that man outside my window. Stuff like that. It's mad scary. So anything I have to do, just do what I have to do, and try stay far from these sickos.
Thank you so much for sharing, Bianca. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, a lot was said, but what I think we should realize is that there is like a difference between liking someone and harassing someone, because a lot of time people don't understand that if I don't want you, I don't want you. Some of them feel like they can control people, or I don't know, probably that's how they grew up, or that's how they were taught, but some people just don't understand that no means no. And if it comes down to the point where you feel unsafe or uncomfortable about how a person makes you feel, then clearly they're doing something wrong. So the best way is to protect yourself, probably tell your family about it, and just try and stay safe.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Kevin. And also, guys, this just reminds me of those situations where persons are in toxic or abusive relationship and like they try to leave, and we know how some of those end. So I don't know. I don't know if we need to reinstill the value of the word no and just taking rejection. But even some men, I don't know if you guys have, well, some of you ladies experience this firsthand. A guy is down the street and you end up him the mind and him start pussy out on class. I'm like, you were just pissing me and I look sexy to you a moment ago, but now that I'm like not interested, I'm the most repulsive person. What? You guys can't just say no, just take it and just calmly take it and move on with the day. Why so much aggression? Because I'm rejecting your attention and what you're trying to convey to me. Why you have to stay so? Go ahead, Stephanie.
Yeah, I was just going to type in the chat and say that most Jamaican men harass women. Most of them don't come to us like normal, like how normal people would want to date somebody. It's always some sort of harassment. But because our culture accepts it, it just becomes norm to us. But if you get exposed to other men, you realize that, like other culture men, you realize that what the hell, what them did I do? Like, this not right then. Because when man are looking at, most men are looking at Jamaica, them come with some things, them want to touch you, them, and them look at something they saw like, and then when you, as you say, when they don't get a chance to deal with you how they are used to dealing with most or majority of the females, them start class, you them forgot to them did like care, like get shape, them start calling you all sort of names and so on. So I guess it's our culture too. Men do it other places, but just speaking in general as it regards to Jamaican men, they go hard on the harassment thing.
Thank you so much, and that's so true. Thank you for sharing, Stephanie. Go ahead, Kevin, and then Kevin, and then we'll move on.
So Marianne made a point in the chat that socialization has a lot to do with how we think, and I agree. Like when I was growing up, among my male peers, I used to hear them talk about women in a certain way, and I have to wonder how they could speak about women, like sexualize them and treat them as objects. And then, I don't know, maybe they got that from their family or from their dads, or I don't know, but where I grew up, you had to respect women, and that's the thing. If you don't teach children, especially boys, from an early age about these things, then they too would grow up and treat women in a certain way, and that would cause a lot of problems for the society in terms of how they should think and act in certain situations. And the truth is, many of them don't even have a mind of their own, because if them friend tell them something, them go take it and run with it, and then you have peer pressure and all of that. So the society and the culture really shape a lot of people and how they act and think.
Thank you so much. All right, we're gonna move on.
So my ex and I were together for 5 years. We broke up in late 2014. Her little sister and I attended the same university. She's doing her degree and I'm doing my postdoc. So we occasionally see each other. We're not particularly close, so most of the time we just smile and nod as we walk past each other. Sometimes we exchange a few words. However, in the past 4 weeks, we've both been getting lunch in the food court and we struck up a conversation. We ate lunch together and exchanged numbers because I agreed to give her some of my notes. Later that night, I sent her some of my notes. A few days after that, she asked if I could help her with understanding some things. We talked over Skype, but we were having trouble communicating. So I agreed to go to her apartment to help her the following morning. We ended up doing the do that morning, and then again a few days later.
Doing the do? Doing the do? Sorry.
We
Also
both
known
enjoy,
as sex.
Right?
we
My girl said doing
both
the do.
enjoyed our time together and agreed to continue doing it on a regular basis. She's a little young, but she's beautiful and I really like her. I'm a little confused because I'm not sure whether I'm doing this is right or not. I'm also not sure if my ex would be upset whether she would just brush it aside. We're both in agreement that our relationship is casual and that we have to keep it private, but I'm a little worried about her sister finding out. Asking for a friend.
What do you think he should do? You think he should tell him ex, say, hey, I went through you. I know I'm going through your little sister. It's a family reunion. Oh my God. What do you guys think? And do you guys think that that's something, is that like against the bro code or whatever code? Like, is that acceptable?
Why? From the exchanging notes pass, I know, man. I know what's something even normal. Just exchanging.
Someone was saying in the comments, like, that's a little suspicious, a little red flag right there. When the person said, little young, how young? She shouldn't have gone there. But here's the thing, we're looking at the guy's perspective, but what about the sister? Do you think she's messed up for doing that to her older sister? Like, this is her ex, and you're gonna go there with her ex? Someone saying, we make soup and thing already, so right now this feels normal. Oh gosh, Dalvin, really? What do you guys think? Raise your hand. Give the person advice. Should they tell the big sister or not? Should they keep doing it? We're on gone. Go ahead, Bianca.
Okay, so first of all, nobody's going to continue doing anything. Let's start there. You get me? Secondly, I want to say a few things, but it doesn't have enough context for me to even speak on anything. But it wrong, right or wrong. You get me? This is your sister. Yeah, like this is your sister, and Mr. Sir, that's the little sister. That don't seem no. It seem no. I literally I have very few words. I'm sorry. I'm baffled. I'm that is all, I guess. Don't
Thank you for sharing.
don't tell. I don't know.
Anybody else wants to take the floor?
Personally, it should go there. So you see me? Like it kind of double thingy because it depends like how him and the ex, cause sister ex, and then the whole he's a big young part is just like a big no. So me not know that part show me off, not gonna lie. But I mean, if you guys are ex, then I would say like just go and have a one-way talk with the ex to make sure so everything cool. Okay, you don't want awkward situations, but at the same time, you're not really like obligated. You see me? Them out for your life. So you see me? Me not know.
Yeah, Mazio for true. Mazio completely. Yep. All right, so what goes into my sister cannot enter me. Must for like that. That's so wrong. That's so wrong. Ariane, what you say? But I understand what you're saying though. And I don't know. I feel like I have siblings and I wouldn't want to share anything they've tossed out. So I don't know. I just feel like, look, how are you comfortable with that? But then again, you realize some people don't mind mix soup all around. So they're fantastic. So the next one on our list, we will have speaker Ashley reading this story for us. So take the floor, Ashley. We're ready for you.
Go, Ash.
Okay, so do you think let's have a girl and she does that on the first date? If you're interested in a girl...
Hold on, pause. Sorry. This is after 11 and I'm sure we're talking to adults. So we can say the S word, please. I know what that is. I'm gonna know do. Let's say the S word, man.
You call it S word.
These men off.
Come on, it's sex. What's wrong with it?
Why you have to
Anyways,
say it like that? You said that very sexual, but that like that sounds wrong. Why you have to say it like that?
Boy.
do you think less of a girl when she has sex on the first date? If you're interested in a girl on a date and you decide to have sex on the first date, do you see her not as much as dating material? I know this sub has talked about this before, but I still don't really know what to do. Part of me, which is a 22-year-old female, wants to because what? But I don't want it to ruin my chances at getting into more romantic situations.
That's it. What do you guys think? Do you think it makes a girl like takes away from her value when she has sex on the first date? You guys think she should wait? What about like the 90-day wait period that some people think girls should have some
mean
sense of
Nikija?
virtue, something like that? I don't know. Go ahead, Sandy. I see your hand is raised. Take the floor.
So isn't he having sex on the first date also? Why should it
It's double standard, right? It's the double standard.
Because they're both giving up the goods on the first date, and it shouldn't just be her being you know what. It should be both of them. And if they have good chemistry and they do decide to do the deed, it shouldn't be because of sex. Why you don't want to wife her up or whatever you guys say, or go on further dates with her. It should be other things, like some other thing or something as not just that. And maybe she does it with you, but not with the other guys that she went on a date with. So you need to have conversation.
Thank you so much for sharing, Sandy. Go ahead, Bianca. And after Bianca, we have Marianne and then Kevin.
Okay, I agree with the previous person. That was my main thing. I hate how sexist this argument gets. You get me? Both of y'all had sex. Y'all both gave it up, quote unquote, gave it up on the first date. Like, what's wrong with Miss Lady? Why are we focusing on her? Why are you not questioning yourself? And why you probably never even walk with protection and all that, because something there, and you're going to be the one that is judging. Eh? So yeah, no, I don't think it's just sex. You get me? It's consensual. I don't think that draws from anybody's value, whether it's the first day or the 90-day wait thing. It's if you want to do something, just do it. We're all grown. My thing is, as long as it's consensual, no issue. I don't see why it should be an issue.
Thank you, and I agree. As long as it's consensual, we'll come back to the word no again. Go ahead, Marianne. Kevin, low hand, but you still want to speak, Kevin, after Marianne? Or are you good?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Marianne.
Okay, let me be devil's advocate a bit. I grew up hearing this phrase, you can't do what a man does and still be a lady. So even though it sounds sexist and all these fancy words we want to call it, there's no way we will do something a man would normally do, and society looks at us as still, sorry, my baby crying. There's no way society will look at us as ladies anymore. All right, I have an example. Recently, 3 sixth form students were caught at a boarding house next to the school. However, 2 females were there and 1 boy or a man, right? Now, this young man in sixth form, he is now looked at in the school as a king. But these ladies now are called sluts, pardon my language. So I believe that as women, our bodies and our dignity, it's like a crown. So we should cherish it, polish it, for want of a better word, just be a queen. Queens don't do what regular women do, you know. So that's just my take on it.
Thank you very much for sharing, Marianne. Go ahead, Bianca, and then we'll take Dalvin.
Okay. I guess I can understand where the previous lady is coming from. But at the same time, I'm just going to try. I'm not going to be closed minded right now. You get me? But you said that you used the word queens. So a woman owning her sexuality, okay, a woman having sex on the first date with, I don't know, 10 other dudes, you know, this is all consensual. The man does it too. You're saying that the man is still the king and the woman is not a queen, quote unquote queen. How does sex pull away from all of that? Sex that was literally made for it, anybody can participate in sex. I'm not understanding. I don't see how I'm less of a queen for having sex on the first date. I can understand if I was called irresponsible. You get me, for having sex with several men, you know, without knowing anything, without taking precautions. I could understand being called irresponsible. But saying that I do not what did you say? You said something about the body being something and we should polish it and all that. So I don't polish, I don't do that. It's just a lot of questions, you know. That's all.
Thank you for sharing, Bianca. Go ahead, Dalvin.
All of this just comes down to a person's preference, but in reality, why the whole 90-day thing might come up is just to please society. Because most of the times when you're talking to someone, you can, say, yo, you and them click. And if you feel that feeling there and you choose to have sex with them, then go for it. Why wait 90 days while the both are not go frustrated and well and do it and all kind of stuff, but yeah, go wait 90 days just for me certain things, because whether people admit it or not, that's a major factor when it comes down to relationships. And they are go wait 90 days and then you find out say at the first time that you see them without clothes, right? And I realize, yo, they don't groom themselves properly, all of them stuff there. And then in your head, you just are going up leave same time, right? So it all comes down to preference, but the whole weight thing, it comes down to women more well just care what other people are thinking instead of care about them own happiness.
Thank you very much for sharing, Dalvin. We're moving on to our final portion regarding the advice segment. This will be the closure for tonight, and Ashley will be taking the floor. So go ahead.
She canceled our date because of my zodiac sign. I'm a bit thrown off by this, but I was canceled on due to my zodiac sign. Throughout the week before work, I visit a coffee shop. I go practically every week, and I've been seeing the same baristas there every morning. We seem to click well with our small conversations, and after chatting with her for a few weeks, I decided to offer my number, since she was on the clock. She declined to take my number, but gave me her Snapchat. We chatted a bit on Snapchat and agreed to go on a date Friday. About an hour after that, she said she wouldn't be able to go out with me because she saw on my Snap profile that I was an Aries. She said she doesn't date Aries, but it was nice meeting me. Is this something that is common in the dating world? I've never been rejected over my zodiac sign before, so it kind of surprised me.
What do you guys think about that? You know, prioritizing the zodiac sign. So if we're not compatible zodiac signs, then it's just a no. So Gemini, Aquarius, and something there.
That makes no sense.
Why do you think so? Why do you think so, iPhone? I'm Android, by the way. I'm Android. Go ahead.
Well, what kind of zodiac sign that does not make no sense, but zodiac sign compatible with that and that. Like, then can they far apart, you see me? Far apart. Like you know when I go up on Google, you search with zodiac sign and with zodiac sign meant for each other. Some of them shit they don't real. They don't make no sense, them fake. You understand what I say?
Thank you for sharing, iPhone. I wish I got your name, but I guess iPhone will work. Go ahead, Kevon. And after Kevon, we have Jada.
Honestly, well, like everyone say, it all come back to preference and how someone feels about other people and what they think. But to be so auspiciously into zodiac signs, it it just don't make any sense, because at the end of the day, the stars, alright, I'm not going into that, but you can't really define someone based on what Google or where they get information from. And to judge someone based on their sign, it just not right. Personally, I'm not think it right. Because you have to say, well, all Aries men are what? Them aggressive or stuff. Yeah, but have you actually met the person? Have you actually spoke to the person? What are they like? You can't really just take stuff and run with it without verifying it yourself. So that's what I think about it.
Thank you very much for sharing, Kevon. Go ahead, Jada.
It really makes no sense to me because you might have a bad experience with a specific somebody who's that same sign, but that does not mean that the person is the same as them. So it really makes no sense.
Thank you. I think it's a matter of belief as well. Some persons believe in astrology like that, so they base their life decisions and those stuff around it. Me personally, I don't think your zodiac sign defines who you are, defines your character. I don't think your month dictates who you are, because I've seen persons who born in March were mean, persons born in January mean, February, any month, no matter the month you're born, that's just who you are. That's just who you are. I feel like, how you are as a person mostly depends mostly on like how you were brought up, cultural exposure, stuff like that. I don't think the month you were born in or the period you were born in or the zodiac sign really stipulates who you are as a character. And I don't think it makes sense to say, okay, well, you're an Aries, I'm not gonna date you. Okay, you're a Scorpion, no thank you. Ew, no thank you. Like, no, that don't make sense to me. Go ahead, Dalvin.
And I really something isn't really. I have a question, right? Why is it that women always say bad things about Libra? Because of that, they always make it a point of duty to just run from women that speak too much about zodiac signs. So what's the problem with the Libras?
That's not like a personal question you're asking, though, Dalvin. What's wrong with the Libras? So like Marianne said, nothing wrong with Uno. Nothing wrong with Uno. So you're fine. Another Libra there. Go through Dalvin and Marianne, the two Libras so far. I'm an Aquarius. My birthday is actually tomorrow. In the next 30 minutes or so is my birthday. Yay. Go ahead. Who had them hand up and them lower them hand? What them gone? I think it was Bianca. Go ahead, Bianca.
Never mind. I don't want to speak anymore.
All right. Well, guys, thank you very much for turning out to the meeting. I know it's been a long session, but we did say it was a special. We went through a lot. We had our advice segment, which is not the norm for some persons who have never been to our meetings before. The usual categories are the political insight, rumor runners, and then the confession section. But we had the advice section so that we could give our input on other people's life and scenarios and what's happening. But again, to any new members, welcome. We're happy to have you returning members. Thank you for turning out, keep returning. We're gonna be closing off. Our next meeting will be next week, Saturday at 9 p.m. again. Feel free to join the Telegram club, the Telegram group, the WhatsApp group, if you haven't already done so, and follow us on Instagram, like our posts. Serena, you're speaking to your
guys.
you're unmuted. Serena, you're speaking to your background louder than you.
I mean, you're louder than me.
Your background louder than your girl.
What's that? Me try to get the music turned up. Good night, guys. I'm so sorry I could not make it to the starting of the meeting.
Kevon, you wanted to say something?
Yes.
Go ahead, Kevon.
So I'm a theory.
Say again?
As I don't really hear me.
Yes, hearing you. You don't really?
I don't really see the point of defining someone based on something else that other people have said. That doesn't. It's not fair because it doesn't give me the chance to show who I really am and what I'm up. So defining me based on your past experiences isn't not fair, honestly, in my opinion.
Thank you for sharing. And guys, all the persons that were participating and opening your mics, thank you so much. That guy, do you want to speak because your mic is open? Thank you so much. And thank you for participating in the chat. You know, it was wonderful hearing your opinions. No, Serena, we're not hearing you. It was wonderful hearing your opinions on all of that stuff. Hope you enjoyed our Valentine Day theme club meeting. Hope it was insightful. Hope it was also fun. Hope you'll encourage others to return and to come to join. You'll return. All of those nice stuff. This is where we'll end the meeting for tonight. So a pleasure seeing you all. For those persons that don't wish to leave, you may.
Oh, good night, good night, good night, good night.
Good night, iPhone.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh gosh, I'm coming in down.
Right? My birthday's in a few minutes. I'm gonna level up another year tomorrow. Well, 12 o'clock.
I feel away. Well, the recording that is still.
Yes, the recording will be there. And check the join the various platforms, guys, and you'll have access to all the information, all the resources.